Keith Pompey, the 76ers beat writer for the Philadelphia Inquirer. He had a great seat for that. Keith, thanks for joining us. What did you come away with thinking last night?
That the Sixers just may not be as good as everyone thought they were. The last month of the season, the Sixers, they ended the season with 16 consecutive victories. But when you look at the schedule, the teams were okay, but it was the easiest schedule in the NBA during that portion of time. And then right now they go into Boston and they lose to an undermanned squad twice. And they basically lost the same way that they've been losing, for the first 4 months of the season. Like they surrendered the lead. They settled for three-pointers, even when they would have been better suited feet in the post with Embiid. And, Ben Simmons just didn't come to play this time. Now, I'm not going to say, I'm going to say that that's like an aberration of him because he typically comes to play. But it just seemed like, it looked like the Sixers from January and December and November. They just didn't look like this team that won 16 games in a row last night.
I wondered this with all this momentum, Philadelphia, city of champions, and then everybody was all in on the 76ers. And then I thought, man, are they ready for this moment? Granted, it's a wounded Boston team you're taking on. And if you get out of that round, we're not sure who you're facing, but it felt like everybody had seen enough, that they took a shot from Miami, they rebounded and came back and ended up, blowing them out. But are the expectation level, is it too high in Philadelphia for the 76ers?
I think a lot of people got caught up. And then right now, I think when they played Miami, everyone thought it was going to be easy, because, you're saying, okay, Ben Simmons never played in a playoff series before, but wow, he was calm, he was relaxed. So everyone thought that the Sixers are the team to beat in the East. And me personally, this is their real playoff test. And what I mean by that is it's like, Miami, God love them, the Heat and everything like that. But I just felt like that this team in Boston is more of a contender. So when you go on the road in Boston, that's a true playoff type atmosphere, and that's when you learn about your guys. You learn that who can play and who's young. And it just seems like, the playoff inexperience just showed, especially in the last game. So, yes, I think that, we did put a lot of high expectations on this team, but it was kind of like they got a little bit of fool's gold. Now, I'm not going to say that they can't come back and win this series. It's going to be tough. But the Sixers just aren't, living up to the hype that everybody was giving them the last month of the season.
Finish this sentence. If the 76ers don't advance, what?
I think if the 76ers don't advance, everyone's going to say it's still a great season.
Okay.
Because when you think about it, they won 52 games. They ended the regular season with a 16-game winning streak. No one expected this team to go that far. So when you look at it, they're still trending in the right direction. So I don't think that even if they lose this series, I don't think that you can say that this season was a failure. Let's face it, 2 years ago, the Sixers were 10-72. Right now, they're in the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm just fascinated with the Ben Simmons thing that, people say, oh, you're being too hard on him. He's a rookie. Well, Jason Tatum, last I look, is still a rookie, right? So let's get that out. And he's a real rookie. Ben has at least been in the environment of playing in the NBA, not in postseason or at least being around it. But what forced him out of his game so early, and he never got back into that rhythm?
I mean, he said it was mental. He said that he was trying to think about doing too much. It could also be the physicality. I think that. The difference between Boston and Miami, Miami had a couple guys who were physical, but, they also were doing some dirty things to the 76ers. But I think that the the Boston guys is like more a way of life. Like, I covered Marcus Morris when he was in high school, and he always came across to me as like a tough, blue collar type of guy. you look at Marcus Smart, a tough blue-collar type of guy. The same thing with Terry Rozier.
Yeah.
And then there's something else that you have to factor in. So you look at Al Horford, who power forward center, but we all look at him as like an athletic type of guy. We talk about his athleticism. Well, right now, Ben Simmons is going up against bigs who he's a little bit more athletic than them. It's not like, the big disparity as it would be in the past. You know what I mean? So I think that Boston is just a bad matchup for him.
Keith, thanks for joining us. Certainly a lot on the line tomorrow night in Philadelphia. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Keith Pompey, he's the beat writer for the Philadelphia Inquirer as Game 3 tomorrow night in Philadelphia.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.